Hello, students. We're going to begin with a new chapter, that is your chapter 12, Earth, Sun, and Moon. We have already studied about the solar system, so let's just go through the certain points. Okay, about the solar system. Solar system, it consists of a sun, 8 planets, and their satellites. All right. Now, planets are divided as outer and inner planets. The inner planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. Here you can see the picture out there about the um, of the planets. Okay, the first four planets, they are the inner planets, and then the outer planets, the next four, they are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. These four are the outer planets. Now, inner planets and outer planets, they are separated by asteroid belts. Okay, asteroid belt, and the planets revolve around the sun in a fixed orbit, and that is known as a fixed path, that is known as orbit. Okay, you can see thin lines, right? All the thin lines the planets lie. That thin lines or that path is known as orbit. Okay, we'll study first about the Earth. Okay, in this chapter, we're going to study about Earth, Sun, and Moon. The first thing we are going to study is about Earth. Now, Earth is called the blue planet. Why? Because due to the presence of water. The surface of Earth it is covered with oceans, glaciers, land, mountains, and valleys. Okay, the next one is internal structure of Earth. The Earth has three layers, that is the crust, mantle, and core. Crust, it is the outermost layer. It has oceans, mountains, and continents, and life exists on the crust layer. That is where we are living or where we are surviving. That's the crust layer. Okay, so the crust is the layer where we stay or survive. Next layer is the mantle. It is the middle layer, and it is the layer from where magma comes out during a volcano eruption. Okay, that's the mantle. And core. Core is the innermost layer and divided into inner core and outer core. Okay, now the outer core it contains molten iron and nickel, and the inner core it's solid and contains iron. All right, this is about the Earth. Next, we have Sun. Sun is the center of the solar system, and it is 150 million kilometers away from the Earth. There is a distance between Sun and Earth. Diameter of Sun is 1,390,000 kilometers. Sun is a star. Okay, and it's made up of burning gases, that is hydrogen and helium gases. Now, how do we get this heat or light of the sun? That is when the hydrogen gas changes into helium gas, it releases lots of heat and light, which causes solar energy. And this energy or the solar energy, it sustains life on earth and it can never be finished. Okay, the sunlight can never be finished, unexhaustible. All right, that's a term used that which can never be finished. So that's about the sun. Okay, now moon. All right. Moon, it has no light of its own, and if it reflects light from the sun, that's how we are able to see the light of the moon. Moon takes around 27 days to complete one revolution round the earth. The moon seems to change its shape every night, and this is called phases of moon. Every night we see different shapes. Sometimes it may be full moon, sometimes crescent shape, sometimes half shape of the moon, no, that round half moon. All right, so different shapes we see daily. Okay, this is known as phases of moon. Now, once in a month we are able to see a full moon, and after the full moon it begins to get smaller. After 14 days we only see we see a very thin curved line, and that is the time when we call it as new moon. Now, on the surface of the moon, it is not even, means not plain. Okay, it is covered with mountains and craters. Craters are the holes. You can see in the picture those hole types of structure. Okay, and these craters, how they were formed? When the meteorites hit the moon, those craters were formed. Due to the absence of atmosphere on the moon, it is very hot during the day and very cold at night. Okay, people, that scientists have landed on the moon also. So we'll see who is the first man to land on the moon. Hmm. Man first landed on the moon on July 21, 1969, and the spacecraft they used was Apollo 11, which carried three Americans. They were Neil Armstrong, Edwin Aldrin, and Michael Collins. The spacecraft it was launched from Kennedy Space Center at Florida. The first man to set foot on the moon was Neil Armstrong. Armstrong and Aldrin they stayed on the moon for about 2.5 hours and collected samples of rocks to bring back to the Earth. Okay, that's about the moon. Okay, about landing of the moon we have seen. Next we will see about the eclipses. Okay, what is eclipse? Eclipse occurs when Earth, Sun, and Moon come in a straight line during revolution. That means all the three they stay in the same line. Okay, and there are two types of eclipse. They are the solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. Now, first we will see about the lunar eclipse. It occurs when Earth comes between the Sun and the Moon, and Earth blocks the sunlight from reaching the Moon, and its shadow falls on the Moon. Okay, now it occurs only during full moon night, and types of lunar eclipse are total and partial lunar eclipse. Next, you have the solar eclipse. Now, when moon comes between the sun and the earth, and its shadow falls on some portions of the earth, then the solar eclipse occurs. Types of solar eclipse are the partial and total solar eclipse, and they are for very short duration. They occur for very short duration. The last topic of the lesson we have is artificial satellites. What are artificial satellites? Those man made objects, okay, that orbit in space around the earth. Those are the artificial satellite. Now, there are different types of artificial satellites, such as communication satellite, weather satellite, navigation satellite, astronomy satellite, and many more. Okay, what is communication satellite? It helps to receive and reflect signals to telecast radio and TV programs which we see daily in our house, or we can hear the radio programs, right? So communication satellites help for those purpose. It's used, okay? And weather satellite, it has cameras to take pictures of clouds over the earth. Weather scientists use these pictures to forecast weather. Navigation satellite, it helps ships and aircrafts find their ways, all right, to get their ways. And astronomy satellites, they carry telescope in space, all right, so we can get to know about the space, what's there in the space and all. So such way these satellites are used to give information. Okay, students, I hope you go through your notes well, and go through the video properly, read your book well, so that you can be clear about the lesson and solve your exams well. Thank you.